Good Shabbos and Shabbat Shalom. I welcome you again to Temple Ohev Shalom here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania at the beautiful Lehrman Chapel on this wonderful 4th of July weekend. I'm joined by our accompanist Christopher Prestia. We are here to bring Shabbat to you. So let's begin by taking a cleansing breath. Let's let go of any of the aggravation of the past week. And let's welcome Shabbat on page 120 by lighting our Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu shel Shabbat. Page 124. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to younger straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Shalom Aleichem is on page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lochem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sechem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let's rise now and turn to page 264 as we continue with Baruch Hu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim uvitfuna meshane itim umachalif et hazmanim umisader et hakochavim b'mishmarotehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or uma'avir yom umevi layla Umavdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai tzevaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Page 266. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world. In each age we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment we stand face to face with truth. In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder. In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema is on page 267. 268. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 269. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves? Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Michamocha, page 270. And Vishamru is on page 272. Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Ge'ula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo, Be'ahava, Melech Uzer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kdoshim B'chol Yom, Yahallelu Chasela Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated as we continue together on page 278. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 281. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha ne'el lehodot. Shalom Rav, page 282. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atah hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. O shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom. Happy 4th of July weekend when we give thanks to God for the freedom we have of living in this wonderful country of ours. I received an email message last week from Senator Bob Casey. I don't usually get messages from the senator, so I took great interest in the one that I received. He has a new initiative that he's working on. He calls it the 5 Freedoms Initiative. What a wonderful way to look at 4th of July weekend and talk about freedom. I was very impressed by the initiative, so I'd like to share it with you on this Shabbat in case you haven't heard about it. The document sets forth a detailed plan to secure the blessings of freedom for the children of today and tomorrow. This plan identifies 5 basic freedoms that our society must guarantee to our nation's children and recommends policy changes to ensure those freedoms for all of our young people. They are: freedom to be healthy. Every child in America should have quality, affordable health care. The proposal recommends automatic Medicaid eligibility from birth through age 18. Freedom to be economically secure. Every child in America should have the opportunity for economic security and to earn a living wage when they reach adulthood. The proposal recommends permanently expanding the child tax credit and allowing parents to claim it monthly, and creating children's savings accounts that are seeded annually with $500 in government contributions that children can later use in pursuit of post-secondary education, home ownership, or a business enterprise. Freedom to learn. Every family in America should have access to quality, affordable childcare and early learning programs. The proposal recommends an additional annual investment of $7 billion to expand affordable childcare and early learning programs, an additional investment of $18 billion annually to ensure that the Head Start program can cover all eligible 3 to 5-year-old children, and a permanent expansion of the Child and Dependent Care tax credit to help working families cover the cost of childcare. Freedom from hunger. No child in America should go to bed hungry or worried about their next meal. The proposal recommends enhancing automatic certification of more children for school meal programs, expanding universal school lunch and breakfast, and increasing retroactive reimbursement of school meals for eligible children who were not initially certified for school meals. And the freedom to be safe from harm. Every state in the nation should have the resources necessary to strengthen families, prevent child abuse and neglect, and investigate and prosecute crimes against children. The proposal recommends the following investments: $250 million per year in community-based child abuse prevention, $250 million per year for child protective services, and $250 million per year to state attorney general offices to prioritize investigation and prosecution of crimes against children. The proposal provides sweeping change to the way our government allocates funds to protect and nurture our nation's children. I like the proposal, and I think it's time our government put forth a program that ensures the safety and well-being of all of our young people. And yet, as with many government programs, I'm not sure how we'll be able to find the money to fund it. But that doesn't mean it isn't a great idea to discuss, even if it's never implemented. Can you imagine a perfect society in which to live where there is finally equality in the United States? It sounds amazing. Healthcare for all of Americans' children. The opportunity to go to school and attain a higher education. The chance to earn a living wage where workers can finally be paid a salary where they can take care of their families, purchase their own home, and even have money in the bank. A community where children feel safe without being neglected, abused, or marginalized. These freedoms may seem simple to us, and we may take them for granted, but that doesn't mean they are available to every child in this country. It puts America's young people on equal footing with the same opportunities across the board. So how can we make this proposal a reality? Obviously, the stumbling block is finding the funds to put this proposal into motion. Many will say we can't afford it, while others will say we can't afford not to do it. I agree with the latter. We can't afford not to do it. I believe it is our responsibility to make this proposal a reality and to find a way to fund it. It won't be popular to raise taxes, especially the taxes of the wealthy and the taxes of large corporations. But what choice do we have? Senator Casey says that the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted children's lives, education, social connectivity, mental health, and access to usual sources of support, which include child care, schools, community services, and extended family. More children fell into poverty last year. More children fell behind at school, experienced hunger, missed preventative health care visits, and too many lost loved ones. Such stress during childhood can adversely affect brain development, socioeconomic growth, mental health, and academic achievement. The 5 freedoms would reverse these trends and ensure childhoods that are safe, healthy, and enriching, so that all children have the opportunity to thrive. As a community that embraces the Jewish values of welcoming the stranger, feeding the hungry, healing the sick, and doing our part to make the world a better place, we should embrace a proposal that provides for a more equitable society, one in which we can grow as a community and as Americans. Whether you agree with this proposal or not, it is our responsibility to do our part to stop the downward trend that is making our children more vulnerable to crime, disease, poverty, and injustice. Even if it never comes to fruition, it is certainly worth a discussion in our government offices as well as our dinner tables. If we don't do something drastic now to reduce the trend, we may get to a point where there is nothing we can do to stem the tide of injustice. That is not what we do as Jews. We know there is a better way. We must seek to find that better way and do our part for America's children. Shabbat Shalom. And now let's take a moment to ask God's blessings on those in our family and in our community who are sick in need of healing by reciting the Mishaberach prayer on page 371. healing on everyone in our community. As we say, Baruch Atah Adonai Rofeh HaCholim, we praise you, Adonai, our God, who heals the sick, and we all say, Amen. Let's continue now with Aleinu on page 586. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. This Shabbat, we remember the yahrzeits of Robert Abel, Rosalind Meritz Blum, Lee Braff, Avis Cooper, Albert Percy Durans, Mildred Foreman, Marilyn Fox, Abraham Garner, Rose Goodman, Grace Hess, Roy W. Kibler, Bessie Latt, Herman Marks, Jerome Newman, Florence Rindley, Martin S. Roberts, Jack Rose, Minnie Schwartz, Abraham J. Sherman, Walter L. Stern, Esther Gross Weil. For those that have been named, or for those you may name within your own hearts, we ask you to please rise as the mourner's Kaddish is recited on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yomad divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kari v'yimaru amen, yehesh shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam omei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei kudsha b'richu, Ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'am hiran v'yalma v'yimaru amen yehesh lomo rabo min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimaru amen oseh shalom b'mromav u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all of us who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, Amen. And now in honor of our nation's birthday, as we do every Shabbat, that is close to the 4th of July, we conclude by singing God Bless America on page 680. Blessings on all of us this Shabbat. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, may God give us a Shabbat and a holiday weekend filled with joy and rest, and a week ahead filled with good health and peace. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.